This call is being recorded.
Uh, Good morning.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm great, man. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for calling.
Bro. No, yeah, what you were saying? Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh no, I was just saying thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man. I've been watching your content since about like last year during 2020. Like that's when like everybody was on like the woke shit, and then I got into astrology. I'm just like, oh, let me go figure this out. And I'm just like, oh shit, it's actually real. Like it's not bunk. I'm just like, this is pretty cool.
Right. That's what's up. We haven't done a reading before, huh?
No, no,
Nice.
we haven't. I joined your yin yang master class just like 2 weeks ago, cause like during his Gemini season is my birthday, and then just like everything you're saying I just like related with. I'm like, bro, everything like this dude is saying right now like literally happened to me like more than 5 times. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that your son's in Gemini. That's awesome. You have a really awesome chart, actually. So let's see. All right, awesome. So yeah, um, please don't hesitate to interrupt. I'm glad you got the transit forecast because um, basically, with the miracle code, we can look at the Pisces aspect for you. And okay, I was gonna give you an alien construct article because being born in 2000, you got Saturn in Taurus with Jupiter, which is super rare. That's really awesome. Um, and I mean, I'm just glad to see your son's in Gemini too. That's awesome, man. Actually,
Yeah,
like my son. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. And it's like I don't know if you know about numerology like that, but my birthday number or my destiny path
22.
number is 11. My birthday number is 22. My life path number is 11. So I have two
Oh,
master
you're
numbers in
11.
my thing.
That's awesome. That's really.
it, it's a lot of awkward energy, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what's up. And I was gonna say, like myself, you also have a Capricorn Moon. That's really dope. It's challenging. I think it's one of the hardest moon signs to have as a Gemini, but it's worth it. I'll say that. But yeah, so please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions, right? Anything you want to mention or point out. Outside of that, um, let me see. Yeah, outside of that, we see that um, you have your rising in Leo, and so as a
Hmm.
Leo rising, you're going through 2.5 years of controlled opposition, where as a solar king, which is actually really dope that we have in common, right?
Hmm.
As a so as a solar king, and what I mean by what we have in common is um, you have the you have the rising in Taurus. I have the rising in Taurus. You have a rising in Leo. So
Hmm.
we're different aspects of this Gemini energy, and this is where, um, of course, you're dealing with this aspect of, let's just say, as a solar king, you carry the vibration of incredible truth, or this is actually archangel energy because Gemini is the angel, and Capricorn is going to be the goat, right? So you have the vibration of the greatest messenger. But as a solar king, this puts you in the 10th, 11th house with your MC in the 11th. So you are aware of this Gemini vibration in a way that literally makes you an angel of the people. Uh, 45th President Trump was a Leo rising with this. So the reason why
Oh wow.
yeah, because it's connected to the 11th house, you're literally like the people's angel. So this is even cooler because unlike him, where he has Uranus and Gemini, you have Uranus and Aquarius and its dignity. You have Mercury and its dignity. And this trine, and that's actually what I love about your generation, anyone born after 95. Y'all have Pluto and Sag, y'all have Uranus and Aquarius. So this is next level. Like y'all already represent the advent of conscious evolution and representing the, you know, development of psychic ability in that the people in the 90s, we have Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn. And this kind of makes our body psychic. But seeing you have this in Aquarius, now this is more mental in that you guys instantly channel claircognizantly knowledge. And so this is an extension. This is like the Cancer rising version of Uranus and Capricorn with Leo rising. You literally will, I don't even want to say channel, you'll intuitively come into the knowledge of who other people are instantly.
Bro,
Your
you
body,
like you like you speaking like truth right now, bro. Just like the past week alone, like you've been just saying, like people been just showing their true colors out of nowhere. Like I've seen so many of my coworkers that are just like the nicest people just explode for no reason. Like random people
wow,
coming out of nowhere, like things breaking down in front of me. I'm like, what is going
wow,
on right now? This is crazy.
that's deep. That's very deep, especially considering that, you know, you being in a position um to represent this as an angel, right? As an angel of judgment and integrity. This is very important because this is expressly supernatural. So there's not much that's normal about your ability to do this. In that you don't even have to have the details. The cool thing is, as a Virgo rising, for example, as a Taurus rising, my second house is Gemini. So you literally paid me
Mm,
so I can talk to you. That's
yeah,
our magic communication. You have this at a level higher because Gemini is individual, Taurus is individual. So we're collective individuals. We're individuals that we're like one man armies because we have the receptivity of what the world is feeling, but we express it as an individual. And this is where um as a Leo rising with a Virgo second house, whereas I'm individual, you're social. So you have a much higher income potential because I work with people one on one, but you're the next level up. After the natural king, there's the solar royalty. So whereas I'm Taurus rising and I manifest individual alignment, you're Leo rising and you manifest the receipts. Like you got the receipts. You manifest the facts, the critical perspective, the reality, and this is what enables you to analyze perspectives at a social level, giving you more potential for income, but also at this level, because you don't even need details, like you don't have any Virgo energy. So your need for analysis isn't as necessary as much as you may need Capricorn direction, because even myself, as I'm talking to you at an unconscious level, you're coming claircognizantly into the knowledge of who I am based on my language patterning, my frequency, and what I'm telling you and how I'm telling it to you. But the thing
you
here
gotta stop
is,
reading my mind, bro.
well, that's the thing. The thing here is Uranus, and thank you for the confirmation. With Uranus here in Aries, like the level at which you know is supernatural. It's kind of terrifying because you can pick up truth about people that technically you shouldn't know, but like now you know because like their mind told you. And it's like you're literally able to in cosmic telepathy form know what people are going to say and do before they do, because now you're literally tapping into the extra dimensional realm of imagination and the mind connecting with the minds of other people. I wish I can explain this better, because now that we put this in the context that you're an angel, it actually makes sense that you have this level of proficiency, because now all this knowledge of the other trines to your Gemini, and you're able to show and see people where they belong, especially in your life. It's like you help bring people true belonging, because you already come into an understanding of the knowledge of them, and this lets you know, like, it helps you kind of direct and guide people, even if indirectly, where they may sort through. And this is where, with your sun in the 10th, 11th, you kind of have this community leader energy, where you are an authority figure. You are a public figure, rather. Actually, you are an authority figure, because Saturn is in your 10th house, which I'm going to talk about too. You're gonna make a lot of money in this lifetime. It's gonna be ridiculous by the time you come into your 30s. But yeah, I mean, that's not to say there won't be financial challenges, but this is geared to, over time, make a ton of money. But once again, like, I want to talk about Uranus, 20 degrees right opposite your AC. That's insane. That's like the ability to instantly, because Uranus represents like sudden awakenings, and also sense of claircognizance. Uranus represents innovation. So in every relationship that you ever have, there's always going to be a challenge, because you're going to innovate the crap out of that person, or you're going to hold space for that person to be super unconventionally eccentric in your presence. And to the
But
degree
it
with
but
which
it get for me, it gets annoying, because it gets to the point where I don't know if they're just doing that just to take advantage of me, if they're doing that just to play games with me. Like, it's very hard for me to like open up to people, because I'm just so tired of people using, like my kindness and things like that. That's one of the reasons, like, I called you here today, just to find out, like, over the next 3, 6, 12 months, like, how do like, how do I move around that to help run my business and things like that. But you don't have to answer it right now, but I just wanted to, like, make it clear, like, what I was necessarily looking for. You can go back to talking about
yeah, no, no,
the Uranus.
thank you too. That helps me, because, like, right off the bat, if we look at the year ahead, now you're going through your seventh house transit. So you finished a very powerful 6 to 13 year personal development arc. And now you're bringing this around to your relationships, so that you can establish greater standards in your partnerships. This is a period where you may get married, divorced, or go through a business partnership in preparation for your Saturn return. So you're having to deal with people more directly and draw relative boundaries. But with Uranus, this now literally takes it to another level, because with Uranus that's in your 10th, this is going to be having you come into unexpected windfalls of income, and job titles that no one, you're manifesting a legacy no one has ever manifested before. So it's like you're having to evolve and come into more people patronizing you and your services, but you're also having to innovate how you do business and all that. So the thing is, if we talk a little bit more about this transit, because now the whole thing about the life-changing miracle is that Jupiter is going to be transiting your 8th house. So while it's in your 7th house, you're going to be, through Cancer season, releasing and transcending old spiritual beliefs about how you harness your own psychic power and transform your lifestyle, because Pluto recently has awakened our souls. And this is where, because you have Chiron on Pluto in Sagittarius, Geminis in this generation, like the other rest of the mutable signs, are going to have more of an extreme connection, especially with this healing. So In other words, you may inadvertently trigger the crap out of people without trying, especially as a Leo rising, because you create this extreme sense of vulnerability and healing in the way tap into your inner child, which is very important because being in the 11th, 10th house as a Gemini makes you expressly aware of, where the truth belongs in your life and what that sense of belonging is. So the fifth house is going to represent your talents, the full expression of your talents, especially as a Leo rising, where Leo represents the source from which Leo represents the source from which fire springs from. So this is going to speak to how in the 11th you may enlighten other people. Your legacy is to put your message out there. And the fifth house is going to speak to the wild creative passion that you can tap into people around you to encourage them to also find their freedom. It's just Sagittarius in real life is super blunt. And so you may not really hold back how you express this or want to sugarcoat it. And this can just rub people off the wrong way, which it's supposed to. Especially because opposite this Gemini energy, it's going to now align that passion with literally the right words to say. And then Mars is opposite this too. So your words are literally your weapon. But the thing here is, there will be that sense of difficulty. You are a part now of the opposition series that Aries had in the 70s and then Taurus had in the 80s, 90s. And what that means really is, if you think about Chris Brown, people extremely hate Chris Brown or they're extremely
Mm-hmm.
obsessed with him. And that's because Chris Brown has Pluto opposite his sun. And so we see that evidenced by many Tauruses who have this. And Pluto opposite one's sun speaks of an extreme reaction to one's being, whether positive or negative. And so Geminis born in the 2000s and late 90s definitely have to deal with this. Yours isn't exact, but it is going to speak to a lot of how you will evoke an extreme obsessive element of people who just react very sensitively to you, especially to your ideas and the way you show people, which is another one of your extreme talents. So we have to speak on this because the South Node has been coming through this fifth house. You're unlocking your talents so that you can align your presence in the right group, community, you know what I'm saying, place of belonging. And it's using your own talents to connect you with the right people, or you to connect the right people to, the right concepts during this period. So
So
this is
so
where, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, I was gonna say like, so like in a in a sense, like when it comes to that, when I'm now interacting, like, for yeah, I'll give you an example. Like when I'm at the gym, one of my, besides just working out, one of my things I try to do is, because women all the time give me looks, like all the time, and I'm not necessarily used to that because that's something that's new to me. But I know for me personally, if I want to grow more spiritually, I have to test myself. Are you saying like in situations like that, I should like throw myself out there, and try, or like how you like, saying I should handle that based on, yeah, what my chart is saying.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, let's talk about it. So, I mean, we know that you're an angel, and if we look at where Venus is in your chart, um, you do have Venus um, in Taurus next to Saturn and Jupiter. So Venus that links with your heart is in the most karmic part of your chart. Venus in the 10th is going to make you looked at by authority figures as well. So basically, if you were in a crowd, you normally people with fire MCs are going to be seen, but you definitely be someone who wouldn't be glossed over. Venus in the 10th house makes you very serious about your appearance and beauty, even though it's 12th house to you, right? To your sun. It's going to really speak to how you express this hidden aspect of your conscious physiologically. It may, especially with Saturn here and Jupiter, the more effort you put to actually lead forward with this aspect, the better, especially for love. But yeah, I don't want to get speak with too much jargon, but especially taking advantage of the angelic charm and as a Leo rising has a presence to them where you definitely do glow. So I mean, you have more than enough incentive to take advantage of this and to, especially with people who receive your advances, you know, Mars is in your sign. That works very well assertively if you lead forward with your ideas and to express them bluntly, even if this is where with Uranus in the seventh, you may want to push your luck here and lead forward with something unconventional because
Oh shit.
people will, you feel me? Like people, your connections with everyone is going to be tinged, or it's going to be influenced by the never before seen, or just something different. So if you use that to your benefit, it'll actually help you instead of like make things awkward.
Bro. I'm gonna just let you know right now. Like, I watched from Pharaoh, I watched from General Seti. I know about Komet. I know about like the souls. I know about everything. Like, that's the type of person I am. I know about the Freemasons. I know about everything. Like everything. Like, I have some new ideas myself that I'm trying to get to them right now, bro. This is why I'm afraid. I'm afraid I might break somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel you. Yeah. The facts to crack people's backs. I'm glad you said that too, because Uranus to me is a bit of an awakener. So it's like if we bring Neptune, Neptune is going to intuitively bring metaphysical phenomena to your mind. Neptune in Aquarius is genius. I'm not gonna lie. It's the genius intuition. It's able to bypass the need for inductive or what's the word? Inductive or deductive reasoning. You don't need any of that. You literally just know. That's the only thing that's difficult about it because you'll intuitively discern knowledge without having the details. And so the cool thing is you have Gemini. So you'll gain intuitive knowledge of, truth from people, and then it'll link to Gemini, and you'll instantly be aware of what it is you're sensing. And that's magic, bro. Like there's nothing not supernatural about that. You just have to learn and trust that what you're picking up is the truth and not just something you picked up, thinking. But thankfully, it links together so well that it's never gonna just come off like a random thought. Like it's gonna contextually show itself with mid conversation with people, or even if you have to see peculiar signs with this, because I'm gonna maintain this is next level. I mean, this level of intuition, this is where you legitimately can know exactly the words someone's going to say before they say it. And a lot of that has to do with the bounds of time being linearly loosened because we're perceiving everything in 3D. But energy like this is going to kind of dilate time in your perception a bit. I can't, it's hard for me to put in words because nothing's
Bro,
going
no,
fast enough.
you can talk, bro. Listen, I literally agree with every like 100% of the things you're saying have happened to me and are happening to me right now as we talk. It's been 12:31 for 6 hours in my mind.
Right. Oh my God. Wow, dude. Thank you so much for saying that. Because like I don't really have this energy, so it's hard for me to really express it. But you just explain that better than I would, because it's hard for people to understand this because science is not yet caught up to y'all yet. Science isn't even caught up to our generation. So
Don't
y'all
make it
y'all are
stupid. I
like,
can't, bro.
yeah. No, it's ridiculous. Oh, that's another thing though. But like, if you think of these as familiars, all right, Uranus rules Aquarius, so the ruler of your seventh house is in your seventh house. Very amazing. Uranus is very much so like the awakener. There's Pluto that's the awakener, but then there's Uranus that's like the shocker, right? It deprograms people. So like in every relationship that you have, you're either gonna attract someone who's batshit crazy, or they're gonna see you as batshit crazy. And the
I feel you.
craziness doesn't, right. And it doesn't have to be crazy. Like this Uranus on the seventh means that the type of marriage or the type of relationship you'll have is genius. It's like you're partnering with the genius of the zodiac, but it's where, you know, um, you'll have to hold space with others. If you're dealing with someone who's like woke, then this is great. If you're not, then you're the one that's having to kind of like shock them. But the quality of Uranus here is going to influence every relationship in order for them to vibrate. It's like you literally hold space for other people and then communicate directly to their higher self. And because you're actually evoking that energy, energetically, they're going to be made more aware of this aspect, whether they know it or not, because you're literally connecting with it. So if they weren't aware, now they're going to start to be even at least unconsciously aware of higher causal aspects of themselves that you in mid conversation, you don't even have to be like, I'm talking to your higher self. You can just speak in ways that will activate a higher part of their mind. And this is where, I mean, it's happening with me right now, where you told me about how you've experienced that, the 1031 for as long as it has. You're now providing me like amazing knowledge that's going to help me moving forward. And the reason why this is also important is your moon's on the south node. All Capricorn moons are old souls. But to see that your moon is on the south node, you're an ancient old soul. You carried in this wisdom from your past life in order to really embark on this secret destiny, this hidden
Bro,
destiny to really,
like I swear I've always told myself, like, I remember the day I came out the womb and I first saw the light. I knew from the very first moment I'm not
wow.
from here. Like I'm not. I'm all my friends who are also spiritual. They said like, oh, I remember my past life in ancient command. I remember my past life as an Aboriginal. I'm like, I'm not from here. I don't remember none of that.
Right. Thank you. That's what's up. Yeah, bro. No, you definitely a different breed. And I'm glad you mentioned that too, because a lot of this Uranian alien energy is you really bridging in extra dimensional facets of other people. And that's why this is weird, because the energy you're holding space with others is literally out of this world. Uranus represents the causal realm of the mind, which is more, it's a telepathic connection you're able to have. So the thing with, once again, Cancer risings who have Neptune in Capricorn, Neptune is going to make intuitive their body. So their body will automatically move physically based on what their psychic emotions feel about the person. You literally have the next level up of that. At a heart level, with the Leo rising, you're literally just going to know. It's just a claircognizant sense of knowing exactly who you're holding space with. And then Gemini can literally speak it to them, which will blow their mind every time, because you may be unconscious to how you speak what people are directly thinking without them telling you they were thinking that. And now they think you're some kind of like glitch or something, or they could be a bit intimidated, or maybe see if they're in your generation, they do a little bit of it too. So everyone's different, but I do want to maintain that this being directly opposite your rising is important. And then the ruler of your whole chart is the sun, which is Gemini. So if we now look at Saturn and Jupiter, which is 21 degrees in the same decan in Taurus. First of all, with Venus here, yeah, there's like the Pluto quincunx, but with energy that's solid in Taurus, so as a Gemini, people just be jealous for no reason. So you'll have the pleasure of dealing with people who may try and scoff at your legacy or scoff at what you do. But no matter how much shit they talk, what you're accomplishing is like blowing them out the water. And all they can do is just basically watch in jealousy and say whatever behind your back. But you're going to have the reason why it's important is regardless of what people may want to say you have authority and clout over your legacy. So no one's gonna define this for you. It's self-manifested. Saturn that comes in that 10th house position is what's able to harness that level of authority and strength over time. Of course, you have a 30-year karmic cycle that you were born with. And so your individual karma is to manifest foundation of wealth and security that, of course, those after you will be able to build off on. So the thing with Taurus MC is that, um, how do I say it? It's the slowest MC, it's the slowest zodiac sign, but
Mhm.
the hard work that's put to put it in place will have it last for a lifetime. It definitely does last, in other worwords. So, uh,
I remember like on one of the streams you said like about Cancer season, like I think a week or so ago. You were talking about goats versus legends. Is that more of like a goat type quality? Is that
that's a good question. Um, I feel like as Capricorn moons, we're goats for sure. We're definitely like the goat angels. And Saturn is very go energy. So it means with the 10th, whatever you do, you're gonna rise to like the OG of your field. This is so very important because MC is your legacy. So Jupiter here and Saturn here means you're gonna be known for expanding what you're doing, but also sustaining it. To be at the same degree is like winning the lottery, bro. Like this is huge. 21 degrees, and then Venus here adds polish to it. But here's the most important thing, it's something you're an MC king. Like we're both kings. We both have fixed sign risings. We have fixed sign MCs. So you're gonna teach the value about what it is you're stepping into. Here's the thing though, especially as Cap Moons, don't necessarily take seriously because we're collective individuals. So, there's always gonna be the wave of like pop culture and opinions. But then there's going to be our authority, especially as air signs. So, like, as much as people may be naturally insecure because of their intimidated in your presence, I remember how you say how they could take it for weakness. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff because ultimately it's trivial for you.
Mhm.
It's kind of reverse psychology because the best that could happen is that it triggers your ego and then you get so into it that you're giving them more attention than you needed to versus allowing uh peons or allowing those energies to say what they want but then basically just stuff, don't feed them with your attention. And the reason for that is with this level of intuition that you have, or and Uranus and Neptune can be like familiars. They could be extra dimensional aspects of yourself that deal directly with other people. You're so magical, bro, that like someone with clout, you know what I mean, someone with more followers than you can say something negative about you, and you really deciding to just not pay it any attention and do you is not only more than enough. With the North Node and the 12, you have a way of having things work out in your favor, even if you don't directly seemingly address it. The catch here is uh, provided that you're moving in integrity and the people who are whatever negative about you, they're doing it out of integrity, they're impure in their intention, or they're lying, then you don't even have to do a single thing. They're gonna be like fucked up. I'm pretty sure you've already seen this before in your life, but like people can't really Leo rising is the main character energy. So people can't really just like mess with you like that. This is also Uranus in the seventh, like they'll get instant karma instantly. But the thing here is it's not like a tit for tat energy. It's a very karmic. This is now coming into Saturn in the 10th. Like people have to make sure they step right with you because it could get really ugly. and you wouldn't even
Bro,
have to have done a single thing. All you have to do is be
bro, I
yourself.
wish. Yo, you gotta stop, bro. And it's funny that you say that because I just wish somebody would, bro. I really do.
Straight up,
Like every
straight
day, I just wish somebody would. I want to see what would happen. I'm too
straight
curious. I
up,
really wish.
straight up.
I
That's some
really
real shit.
wish.
The only thing people can do is just basically talk lame shit. Like they'll talk light shit because they're not really about it. So they'll complain. They may say some slick stuff just so you respond, but you don't even have to do that because you're literally above that. Like you're at the 10th level. So yeah, I
It's
mean,
not even it's not even just words. It's like the actions. Like I'm gonna give you a quick example. Like I'm in the mall and I see these dudes that obviously look like they're in a gang. They're wearing the red bandanas. They got the set. They got the fit on. Whatever. I'm walking by them. I'm wearing a blue do-rag. I'm wearing regular work clothes, blue do-rag. I'm walking up the stairs. I'm getting something to drink. I see one of the two dudes walking next to some random black guy that I know he didn't know. I obviously know you don't know this dude. Throwing up sets and gang signs, walking past me. Like, what am I supposed to do to that? You expect me to respond to that? Are you dumb? Like, God.
right. Oh my God, that's wild. And it's even cooler because you have a form of telepathic influence that isn't traditionally the way you see in like movies where you hypnotize someone. It's a level of trance that's induced by your words and your ability for, your Venus and Taurus with your moon. This is where your earth connects with your air. Both you and I have Venus trine moon. So the power of our soul anchors in the strength of our hearts, very physiological. And this unconsciously to us sets the tone and how our bodies move so that from a mind body connection, especially when connecting with other people, the experience of them hearing you communicate versus what they sense physically with you can put one in a trance. When we talk relatively to the tonality and pacing of your words simultaneously with how your body's moving, your mind, since Venus is behind your sun, you're not always going to be completely aware of those small minute little fidgets or movements of your body. And this is where, your own Venus, Taurus, Capricorn Moon can reveal people's behaviors indirectly through this. Because people are going to be so focused on what you're saying, they may not be noticing how your body is completely exposing their body. And a lot, like for people who can read body language, like someone can be so captivated by your words, they'll start to give themselves away physically with nervous twitches, okay, with their body starting to communicate once your critical mind has kept their critical mind occupied with conversation. This is how you can start to discern all these things. And because the South Node is near your moon, your soul holds the intimate wisdom of the integrity of someone's character. It's like you know how to direct and organize people's behavior. And this is important because you can also call it out. But with Uranus here, once again, if we now talk about the transit over now that we're coming into Leo season, which it's not a coincidence, President Trump is doing rallies again because you and him are about to have the sun go through your first house. So the North Node is coming down to your sign. By the time we end the year, it's going to be on your sun, 1 degree. We had the eclipse in your 11th house, and now we're in the 12th house. So now I'm putting this all together. Jupiter is in your 8th house. It's going to retrograde back into the 7th. And we have Venus and Mars that's conjuncting in your 12th first. So you're getting ready for a brand new cycle over the next 30 days in your first house. This is going to relaunch your awareness of you as a solar king and creator or performer relative to Saturn that is transiting your 6th, 7th house. And that is karmically strengthening the quality of your relationships. That's the name of the game for you, bro. 2013, Jupiter went through your first house, gave you a 12-year expansion journey. You're on chapter 6. I'm sorry, you're on chapter 7 of this 12-year journey since 2013. Saturn 2008 went through here. So for the first time, you know what I'm saying? You have gone through 6+ years of personal development where now you're taking everything you've developed about yourself and you're applying it in relationships with other people. The name of the game right now, bro, at such a young age before you come into your Saturn return is upgrading every single partnership. This is the part of your development where you realize, wait, I'm the shit. Like, I've definitively worked on who I am. I've evolved every part of who I am. Now I'm ready to bring this evolved me to people. And I can't waste my time with just anybody now. You're now starting to examine with Saturn that, people who don't have knowledge of themselves, people who kind of hold you back, people who don't, you're judging the quality of knowledge here in Aquarius. So based on that, that's what's going to influence the boundaries you draw. It's just Pisces doesn't have any boundaries. So Leo rising, it's pretty hard to draw boundaries in the 8th house. If you think of Leo as the performer, right? The star, the main character of a movie, what kind of boundaries does Leo have to draw? Because Leo has the 7th Aquarius. So that's like a major A-list actor having to deal with millions of fans, and like they don't really have any privacy because they have paparazzi around them. Leo is on the red carpet. So this is where, because Cancer is the 12th house, throughout this whole season, if you feel lethargic, it is your North Node. So you're going to come into a greater awareness of how realistically you can open up, let's just say, during this period and put yourself in a position to really rest and be more aligned to, since January, your lifestyle, because Cancer season is going to release unconscious habits around how you feel about yourself and how your emotions can sometimes get in the way of your own decision making. And let me not even say your feelings, this is just more unconscious habits. So over the next 6 months, coming into January, you'll be setting new habits through Libra season. And this release is important. This is something I'll say for most people, but especially Geminis. Coming into Leo season, once we step into the first, this is going to be your awareness of who you've been since Saturn has been preparing your 7th. So you're going to come into so much more strength as you activate this opposition where you're dealing with the hive mind against the individual king as yourself who champions their heart and courage. You're going to start to see this supernaturally psychic opposition where it's kind of like you against the world, and you start to see the agents of the matrix through people. And this is where you're really going to step more into the advent of coming into the 10th house, where you'll fulfill your legacy when Jupiter returns and Saturn returns. Right now you're coming through the 7th and the 8th. You want to get comfortable with stupid motherfuckers thinking that you're dumb even though you're smart, because stupid motherfuckers call dumb motherfuckers call smart motherfuckers crazy motherfuckers. And this is where you're going to, during this Cancer season, start to manifest more of the awakening of your physiology. Unlike most others like us, Saturn just went through our moon, so you've awakened supernatural ability at a soul level. That's the proximity with Pluto still within like 10 degrees. And so Cancer season is going to, on the other end of that, aligned with your destiny, the unconscious habits that come in through this. Be very okay with the fact that there's a lot of stupid people who think that they know things that they don't. Everything that they know is mainly based on theories or what they read in a storybook. You and I know that truth doesn't come from books and knowledge written by other people. It comes from the true divine experience of authenticity. We represent the experience of truth. We're Gemini. And so as angels, people still doubt our very existence. There's certain things that we live day to day that is commonly known as science fiction, not because people, not because these people are mistaken, it's because they're fucking stupid. And like, it took me years to realize that this really is just a stupidity thing, and that there are people who aren't stupid who have opened up to this, but they've been censored. So here's the thing. Um, Cancer season is going to have you release any expectation of others socially having to really understand what you understand, because there's a responsibility to maintaining the level of air superiority or knowledge that you have. With great power comes great responsibility, and knowledge is power. So here's where you're going to release the need to prove yourself, in the sense where there are people who don't believe in angels, but you're an angel. So, like, here's a great example. You're not having to tell people you're an angel, right? But like, they're going to be people reasonably, even with higher degrees and knowing, that will apply their rhetoric, not truth, rhetoric to you during this period, talking about, well, maybe you just have certain personality disorders, or a lot of this stems from this erroneous thinking that you're some celestial being. Meanwhile, they cannot break down to you the mechanics of moon signs. So it's sounding like they're educated, but they're stupid. Like, they're not willing to open their mind to new information, and they don't know you're going to deal with this whole time fast trying to throw you in a box. So keep that in mind. Don't be in a position. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone, in the sense
Wait,
where
hold up. You're wait, say something again. The phone, like, it went like out for a second. Like, it sounded like you were very far away.
my bad. Yeah, I don't know why it does. I think it's like the internet that does that
Okay.
sometimes. But
But yeah, bro, like
basically,
everything
every
that you said, I just like again, like you already know, like it happened in some way, shape, or form, or it's continuing to happen. But just real quick,
right.
so like when I run into those morons, like just act like I'm above them. But if they try pressing me, just check them in place.
Yeah, put them in their place, because they don't know that they're being used by metaphysical entities just to fuck with you, to get you in your head, to doubt you. In their mind, they're working through cognitive dissonance. They don't realize they're being used. That's about it. And it's not even about just feeling like you're above them. It's about knowing, okay? Like, if you think about, because you are, this is no cap, like, energetically, vibrationally, you're a celestial being. So like,
Facts,
seriously, like, only Aquarius
facts,
and Libra are gonna know, right? Those are the only beings that are higher than Gemini. And that's just because of the rank. And I wouldn't even say they're higher, it's just different forms. So this is the thing where, like, it's not about, it's just reflecting back the gaslighting. It's a gaslighting mechanic. For rhetoric only to be used, there's no theoretical basis of their own opinions that need to get in your way. If you think about the show Lucifer, where he's an angel and people think he's full of shit until they realize, oh, he wasn't lying. You know what I'm saying? Lucifer doesn't go out of his way to prove it. He just lets them know, nigga, you're stupid. Like, that gun is not gonna hurt me. Like, I'm an angel. And people look at him like he's crazy, but he doesn't go out of the way to prove it. He knows it's true. You're a being that's beyond this. And your own life experiences tell you this is the awakening. Like, different people, whether they're angels or not, are awakening to their own sovereignty. And so this is how we're doing it, right? To where you're just owning up to what you represent, as experiences with other people give you pieces of knowledge. But I have to tell you like this, because with the opposition, with the queries, you're just gonna get hit with fake science about you, about what's going on. You feel me? And like, you really just want to stay true to what you're not only picking up, but observing and creating. Most importantly, creating, because you're part of the new age of the gods. Pluto and Sagittarius means y'all going to create the new world. And as a
I'm
builder, you know, Saturn and Aries sparks it. Saturn and Taurus, y'all are the builders who sustain what's sparked.
I'm honestly like, I'm just trying to get everybody ready for like 2030, trying to get ready for for Aquarius when it pops off. I'm really trying to like get
Yes.
my kids and everybody set
Yeah.
up. I'm trying to like save for those who survive. I'm really just trying to like, build that nation back up so we can do something
Bro,
about it.
that's
Like
it.
that's been like
God
my
bless you,
plan.
bro. God bless you, bro, because let me tell you what's going to happen. Mass extinction events. A lot of people are going to die in this bitch. And it's your generation.
90%.
It's your generation that's going to repopulate the earth. Y'all are literally going to build a new world after the rebel is left. Like, as a Pluto Scorpio, all we're here to do is clear the way for y'all. Like, we're going to get rid of these outdated ass concepts and just like purify this. But like, realistically, that's how it's going to go down. So you are a builder, bro. You said something very important. You're going to build. That's what you're here to do. That's your legacy. You're going to build off the heap of a new world that's going to lead people forward. And think about that as you step into your Saturn return over the next few years. And you're right, preparing for 2030. So other than that, coming into Scorpio season from August to November, you're going to be developing more so your own personal values relative to this energy coming back into your seventh. This is all about upgrading your relationships, the knowledge of your partnerships and how you hold space and really bring the knowledge to people is going to be coloring over the next 4 months how you really personally develop your own being in relation to this. So this coming back around is just going to develop this very powerfully. But I'd also maintain that you really just want to take this Cancer season off, rest, download whatever information, and then you'll come back really strong Leo season. Outside of that, though, the life-changing miracle is that through the 12th house, your whole spirituality is going to transform. And Jupiter is going to take supernatural techniques and power you unlock with the 12th house North Node, and it's going to have you change the way you connect with other people. Okay. But other than that, I'm going to end this recording and I'm going to send you this recording. Do you have any final questions?
Honestly, nah, man. I just want to say I'm just glad you told me to take Cancer season off, bro. I'm tired. Like I'm really, really tired.
Yeah, bro. 12th house is lethargic. So, it's about surrender because you're going to come into a new perspective that will recharge you for Leo, and then it'll be ready to go.
Definitely, man. And if you see me on your channel, I'm Chris D. I'm in the Yin Yang Master, so you know who I am.
Good looks, bro. We'll keep in touch. If you join my Discord, you can join the Yin Yang Master group, and I'll add you there.
Definitely.
Sweet. All right, man. You stay blessed. I'm gonna send this to you right now.